up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we got the Chris and Tim podcast, episode number 33. Of course, we got Chris here today. How you doing, Chris?
Doing pretty well. How's things going?
Not too bad. We got a packed show tonight. This season is back. We got week one in the books. It was a lot of stuff that went down, and we're going to go through a whole bunch of it. But, of course, we're going to start with our Washington football team and the Chargers game wrap-up. Go ahead and give your thoughts on how the Chargers games went.
It went bad as far as defensively, offensively. But I don't know. It went bad offensively with Fitzpatrick. It went great offensively with Heineke. Defense was pathetic. D-line was pathetic. Chase Young was pathetic. And that's pretty much my recap.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, the defense really disappointed on all facets of the game. I mean, not only the D-line, the secondary wasn't good. Of course, the linebackers were suspect. We already knew that going in. But this great defense did not produce like we were hoping. What up, Devin Copeland? Say that again?
They was unprepared. That's what it looked like. They was unprepared.
It's one of two things. We aren't as good as we thought we were, or the Chargers are unbelievable right now. Like, they just picked us apart and destroyed us.
We're not as good as we thought, but I think they think they're buying into their own hype, meaning they feel like they've arrived and they just, when they walk up in there, other teams should just crumble. No, the other teams, they're not going to crumble. I think they're big-headed. I think the D-line is big-headed, especially arrogant Montez Sweat.
Yeah, we'll definitely get all through that. But, all right, here's some points. Let's go ahead and go through them. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets hurt early in the second quarter. He's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks with a hip subluxation. Basically means it was a partially dislocated hip. There was rumors that he may have hurt his hip at the water park. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, there's apparently rumors that he went to the water park earlier in the week with one of his kids, apparently went down a slide, fell wrong, and it actually might be a re-injury instead of just a fresh injury from what happened. But yeah, Charles Leno missed a block terribly, pathetically. And he was like over top of Fitzpatrick, like trying to help him up, basically like praying he was okay. That's what my buddy Jake said, because he showed me the video. And it's like, you good? It's like, oh no, you missed the block terribly. But, so no more Fitzpatrick. As you said, you thought that the offense looked better with Heineke anyway, so it's Taylor time, as Protech said. I say it Heineke time. Some people say Heineken time. Can he be our Kurt Warner? Or our franchise quarterback, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh.
He could. And this is one of the things I really want to talk about. This is his chance to take advantage of the moment. If you look at this press conference, he says his first that he always dreamed of being a starting quarterback. To him, I know what that means. He going to take full advantage of it. He's going to ball out. And he has the opportunity. I told you, I think we can win the Super Bowl with Heineke. If Heineke plays from this point on, we're going to the playoffs, number one. And we're going to go to the NFC Championship game. You heard it here first. Playoffs, NFC Championship game. He could be the franchise guy. Yes, he could. If he does that, though. Even if let's say he wins a playoff game and we lose, I think we still draft the quarterback. But I think he starts that year.
All right. Okay. I'm rooting for Heineke, okay? I think Heineke can ball. I think he has some really good parts about him. His mobility, has been able to buy more time in the pocket and still keep his eyes downfield, or he can run for a first down. I think there's a lot of interesting things about Taylor Heineke, especially in Scott Turner's offense. I think they click really well. I think he runs Scott Turner's offense to the best that Scott Turner's offense can be run. We saw that. We've seen Scott Turner's offense with multiple new other quarterbacks now, and all of them look terrible except for Taylor Heineke, right? So it's an interesting deal. But I'm going to say no. He cannot be the franchise quarterback, and here's why. We all talked about this many times. but he has not started a game that he has not gotten hurt in. That's one. Number two, have you ever seen a quarterback get so much hype, and he hasn't even won a game here? He's been in 3 games and has lost all 3. Granted, I mean, the defense didn't play bad, or there's other situations, but technically speaking, he has not won a single game in the Burgundy and Gold. And honestly, I don't think he's won a game in his career. Maybe a preseason game here or there. But, man, we are giving this guy a whole lot of hype. And he hasn't shown he's shown some flashes. He hasn't shown some flashes, but he hasn't won a game.
That's not his fault. That's the defense fault. Literally, every game that we lost with him was because of the defense, not him.
Yeah, well, you could argue that he was brought in too late for the Carolina game, where he could have won the game maybe in Carolina. He did get a touchdown taken away by a bogus penalty that sucked late in that game, but he hasn't won a game technically. I know you could technically make the excuses, and I'm not even saying the excuses aren't valid. I'm just saying he hasn't won a game, and he has to stay healthy, which is highly suspect. He's not the biggest guy in the world, and he hasn't started a game. He hasn't gotten hurt in, and he even talked about it in his press conference. He goes, "Man, we're all hurt. It's just you're gonna avoid getting injured." So he's already feeling it just after one game. So what are we really getting into with Heinicke? But as I said, I'm rooting for him. I hope you're right. I hope that Taylor Heinicke takes us all the way. And
he's going to throw for 3 clubs this week. I'm at tomorrow.
Oof. I hope you're right. But I'm gonna go out and say no. And I know it's not really going out on a limb. You're more the one going out on a limb here. Obviously, you have a journeyman quarterback.
You're usually right.
But we'll see. Let's see what Roger's saying. I love Heinicke, but he's not a franchise QB. Rooting for him, just too small, and arm isn't strong enough for a gun-based spread offense approach. Need a dual-threat stud QB for this offense. Yeah, I know that Chris loves Desmond Ridder coming out this draft. We'll see where he ends up getting drafted. But, yeah, I don't know. We shall see. All right, enough about the quarterback position. Let's move on to the other offensive player that was really disappointing, not because of him at all, but because we decided not to use him, and that's Terry McLaurin. He did not get a single target in the first half, which technically speaking he did, but the throw was so bad that it didn't even register as a target. It was actually Heinicke that threw to him deep downfield, and he threw it way, basically out of bounds. But he has not gotten a target in the first half. He ended up with 4 catches, 62 yards. He's also shown frustration with the QB play at this point. He has, on average, a new starting quarterback every 3 games in his career. Every 3 games, there's a new quarterback. That is unbelievable. And then, of course, he's already played with 7 starting quarterbacks. In just 2 seasons and 1 game, he has played with 7 starting quarterbacks. Does he have a point to be frustrated, Chris?
Yeah, he has a point. He's the franchise player. Well, yeah, he has a point. You just said his stats: 4 receptions for 62 yards in 1 half. Mm-hmm. Imagine if you put 2 halves together. It's ridiculous. And for him, he knows that he's the franchise guy right now. He knows that he's the best player. Now it's sad that you can't get your best player any help. So, like I said, what I took from his press conference was he's basically telling the franchise, "You're drafting the quarterback in this draft, whether you like it or not, or I'm leaving." And I don't believe Dan will let him walk out the door. Henceforth, he's going to get a huge payday, even more than I think he should get. So it's 2 options. Mm-hmm. Either you're going to draft this quarterback or I'm leaving. And I'm your whole offense. So if I leave, I don't care who you draft. Y'all screw one way or the other. So.
Yeah, I obviously love him. Roger Smith says that's Scott Turner's fault because he doesn't know how to call a game, no flow to the offense. The only thing I'll say about Scott Turner is I would like to see different ways to get him the ball. Screen passes, jet sweeps, just get the ball in his hands in any way possible. But to defend Scott Turner, as soon as there was a QB change, Terry McLaurin was starting to get targets. For some reason, Ryan Fitzpatrick was not throwing it to Terry McLaurin.
Not even looking over there.
That's true. And it's kind of wild. And I want to defend Scott Turner to a point. Now, am I predicting that he's the next great offensive coordinator and we just got to give him time? No, I'm not predicting that. But I do want to give him time because it's tough on a coordinator to also, since he's been here, have 5 different starting quarterbacks. As a coordinator, it's like you're trying to set up an offense to fit your quarterback, and then you have basically new plays that you're starting up, new situations, new this, new that, every single week, and you're trying to start basic because you're just trying to make sure that people are doing the right things when they're supposed to do them. We're trying to learn with each other. And you saw, though, once Taylor Heineke came in, a guy that he can connect with, a guy that is able to move around the pocket, a guy that can push the ball downfield, Taylor Heineke all of a sudden made the offense look really, really good. Right? The offense is moving with them.
Here's the thing. This is it's not even a theory. I feel like the players wanted Heineke, period. Mm-hmm. I think they gave Ryan Fitzpatrick a shot because he's just such a nice guy. So he's like, coach, I'm going to start him. He's a nice guy. Let's give him a shot. But you've seen how everybody started to act once he came in the game. Mm-hmm. Everybody got energetic. Everybody went out to make a play. Everybody, that's who they wanted. Ron didn't want him. But they was like, that's the head coach. Fitzpatrick is a good guy, so we're going to ride with him. And then when you look at practice, I don't know if you've seen the practice videos, look how the guys gravitate towards him. Then you look at their press conference, look how they talk about him. Look how happy they are. Mm-hmm. I think he should have been – they wanted him there all along.
Just go back to when he dove into that touchdown, how – Chase Young just comes screaming onto the field in the end zone, pointing at Heineke's name like, this is my quarterback. Like, I completely agree with the sentiment that the team loves this kid. He brings great energy. He's a good dude, smart dude, math major, trying to go for his second degree. The guy has a head on his shoulders, and the guy is a gamer. That's his tag. He shows up on game day and does the best that he possibly could. I completely agree. And I also agree that Terry completely has the right to be frustrated. This dude is a stud. This guy has gone up against the best corners in the league and performed with trash at the quarterback position. Trash. Rookie year is going up against the defensive player of the year, Stephon Gilmore, and making him look silly. This guy, I saw that Roger said, it's a third rounder. They could care less. No. They don't value him as a third rounder anymore. They know how valuable Terry McLaurin is.
After that catch.
Yeah, that catch was insane. And that's not the first incredible catch he's had down the left sideline. I mean, the guy is unbelievable when you throw it down his way. I mean, last year against the Giants, you thought there was 3 Giants defenders around him. He makes them all miss somehow, catches the ball, 70-yard touchdown or whatever it is. They know how important Terry McLaurin is because they brought him in to be a special teams guy. Jay Gruden talked about he's a good receiver. We could use him. He's got great speed, but he's also one of the best special teamers in this draft. They talked about that. How many special teams did Terry McLaurin play? Not very many, because as soon as he got on the practice field, they were like, oh, wait, this guy's a stud at wide receiver, and he went for 2 bombs almost, if Case Keenum hit him, against the Eagles week 1. So they do not just value this guy as a simple third-round pick. They know what they have in Terry McLaurin. I love Terry McLaurin. I know you love Terry McLaurin. We all should love Terry McLaurin. Okay, this guy's a stud, but he definitely has a point to be upset, and we gotta get some stability at quarterback, right? I mean, we all know that. And I'm hoping, but
you gonna go for. I guarantee you go for over 100 this game.
Terry?
I guarantee you go for over 100 this game.
He's going to get more than 0 targets in the first half. I will go take the over on that one. All right, moving to the defensive side of the ball, because we could stay on the offense a little bit. We know the fumble, which Antonio Gibson, that was an uncharacteristic fumble. He was up in the air, he got hit, then he got double teamed, it got punched out. Very unfortunate. Is there anything else that we could really mention on offense? De'Ami Brown didn't look great. The offensive line didn't look great.
It seems like he wasn't even in the game plan.
Right.
Like I said, the same thing we seen in the preseason, it showed on game 1. It was we're gonna run the ball with Gibson and throw it to Adam Humphries. You thought I was joking. They literally did that. When you watch the pass, it was either Gibson or Humphries. I don't know why. It makes no sense.
Gibson or Humphries. I mean, I don't hate Humphries as a slot receiver, but I hate it if that's who your go-to guy is over. I wouldn't even want him to be my go-to guy over Logan Thomas. Give it to Logan Thomas before you start.
You catch that Logan made when you got him one-on-one. Why?
Oh my goodness!
Why Logan got to get his first 2 catches came when you was trying to drive down the field and get a field goal? Why?
Yeah, he only had 3 targets on the game. Granted, we didn't throw the ball all that much. We only had 21 pass attempts as a team. So, and then I think only 1 sack. So there was really only basically 22 dropbacks for the Washington football team. So we ran the ball a lot. We ran the ball a whole lot. 20 carries, 90 yards. But you got to hang on to the football, okay? I know that I just gave an excuse, but at the same time, you got to hang on.
One last thing.
Yeah.
For these Skins fans that's saying he fumbled too much, he had 2 fumbles last year. So you making it seem like he's known to be fumbling. No, he made a mistake. Cool, fine, whatever. We're gonna move on from it, and he's gonna cook this game because I know he feel like the game is on him, and he's gonna run like crazy this game.
I'm for it. I'm for it. All right, on to the defensive side of the ball. That was unbelievably disappointing. This elite defense that we were all raving about all offseason long looked like it was me, Chris, Protech, Nati, Corey, Pedro, the whole Louis T, Ed Oliver, Street Scores, all of us suited up instead of this team, and they just got absolutely dog walked. 14 of 19 on 3rd down. We just unbelievable drives in the second half. We did get the couple of interceptions or like the turnovers. One of them shouldn't have been a turnover. Do we both agree that wasn't a fumble? Yeah, I mean that was just a bad call.
Sure.
But all right, Chris, go ahead. How do you feel about this D-line, how they played, and so on?
Overrated. I'm always gonna be objective. I'm high. I'm always speak highly of them. You overrated. I seen it last year. Whenever they see below average to below average competition, they dominate. Whenever they see elite competition, they suck. Seen it against Tampa, they suck. We seen it on Sunday, they suck. Period. And that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You're supposed to be the best D-line in the league, and you can't show up when it matters. Now, if I'm Daniel Snyder and I'm looking at this, not forget Ron Rivera, if I'm looking at this, we drafted all of you guys to play against the top teams and do this against the top teams. Because the top teams play in the playoffs. So you can't do this against them. Why do I have you? And you think I'm going to pay you? If they continue to play like this, I don't mind trading either one of them. All of them up for grabs. If you want them, pick your poison, and I go give me Deshaun Watson if everything clears out with him. You want Chase? You can have him. You want Montez? You can have him. You want Deron? You can have him. I don't care because you cannot. But as great as that D-line is, you can't go in there and lay a goose egg like that. It's unacceptable. And I know you're gonna say they got the ball out quick. I don't care. Get there. They did 1 sack, and that sack came from because Justin Herbert tried to run for it. Mm-hmm. You really didn't even get a sack. Mm-hmm. Best D-line in the league can't get a sack. And then, like you said, they walked right down the field with no preseason. We had one. They didn't.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right in the opening drive. Opening drive, touchdown.
Just marched.
What was it, like 10 plays or something? Too? It wasn't even like it was like a one crazy play and done. Yeah, it was 10 plays, 75 yards, almost 6 minutes off the clock, right out the gate. And people are like, "Oh, the offense, they made them tired. The offense didn't get off the field." It's like it's drive number 1. Drive number 1. And we can't get off the field, and you're going to talk to me about how bad the offense played? And I'm not somebody that's like, the offense played phenomenally, okay? But we expected this offense to not play well. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, come on. It was the defense that was supposed to carry this team, and they were worse than the offense, objectively.
And it's usually that way whenever Heineke plays. The defense sucks, and he's amazing, and we lose.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah, and the defensive line absolutely disappointed me. I know some people want to give excuses for Chase Young and Sweat. They
No,
got chipped
no,
and this, that, and whatever. And I'm not
no,
even going to say that they didn't get chipped. There was sometimes they
no.
did get chipped, but I don't care. There was one play in particular that just summed it up for me. Okay, Justin Herbert went on the play action. He then turned around, stepped in the pocket. He was holding the ball. I guess it was good coverage. It was in the red zone. Good coverage. He then, you could tell his clock, like his QB clock, his pocket clock, all of a sudden went off and was like, oh crap. Like, there's got to be somebody. He looked around and there was no one near him. But within 4 yards, and that guy within 4 yards had a offensive lineman shutting him down. Like, he had all the time in the world. And it was just unbelievable. It's like, hold up. I understand when the ball gets out quick. All right, that takes your defensive line out of it. If it gets out in 2.5 seconds, there's nothing you could do. Unless it's hard to get to the quarterback in 2.5 seconds with nobody
They didn't
around.
even try to send any blitz. They didn't try to send no blitzes. You didn't try to go rush 5. They didn't try any of that. They didn't even do no type of in-game adjustments. That's unacceptable.
Right.
Why is Matt Ioannidis not getting enough snaps?
Yeah, what did he end up getting? I don't know, but you can keep saying. I'm looking it up. Go ahead.
Like, why isn't Matt Ioannidis? You gotta get Matt in there. Matt commands a double team. That helps the edge rushers out. But I don't want to hear, once again, I don't want to hear anything about Chase Young. Is this, oh, Chase Young is so? No, he's not. He's a good, solid defensive end. That's all he is. You know what I seen with Max Crosby the other night? He dominated that game on defense. He dominated. Same point I brought up to Tim. Everybody would say that we have a way better line than the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, hold on. I have to address this point right now. Okay. The D held them to 20 points. If your offense can't score more than 20, you don't deserve to win. This is not a good point, okay?
It's horrible.
Literally, they had 4 drives. And I'm not talking about the offense. I'm talking about the defense. The defense played 4 times in the second half. 4 times. They had the one that they started on their own 3, which sucks. I mean, that's going to be terrible for a defense. And they scored the touchdown. Okay, cool. The other drive, 39 yards before they got the turnover. I believe that was the interception. The other drive was like 60 yards before they got that bogus fumble call. So that easily could have been 3 more points, if not a touchdown. And then the final drive, they took 6 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock where they could have easily scored, but then they finally knelt it because they didn't have to score. Yes, technically speaking, they didn't put up big points. Technically speaking. But if you're going to sit here and tell me, oh, they only allowed 20 points, the defense played well, you have lost it. Like, I'm sorry. There's really nothing.
They dropped 2 touchdown passes. Carry on.
Yeah, we were 14 of 19 on third down. That's 73% of the time we were giving it up. And I know at least 2 of those failed conversions of theirs was dropped passes. Like, that easily could have been 16 out of 19, which is an unfathomable amount of first down or third downs giving it up. And including a 3rd and 16. Some 3rd and 7s, a 3rd and 10. Like, we weren't just giving up 3rd and 1s all day. We were giving it up deep. This elite defense. This 3rd and long, pin your ears back and get after the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We were just getting dog-walked on defense. Dog-walked. And yeah, would you have liked the offense to score some more points? I mean, we missed another field goal. It was only a 53-yarder. Yeah, it's a kind of long one, but it's not unbelievably long. It's not like we sent him out there for a 65-yarder or something like that at the end of the half. There's 19 points that we could have had. And, of course, our guy fumbled the ball. That was unfortunate. But, yeah, I mean, this idea that the offense had nothing in them is wrong. They didn't play great, but they didn't play poor.
I disagree. When Heineke came in, we went straight down the field every time.
Well, there was a couple of penalties that kept drives alive. Like you think about the Joey Bosa's roughing the passers. And so I'm not going to say I don't want to pretend like the offense was great, but they weren't nearly as bad as the defense. And yes, you could look at that 20-point number, but the 20-point number does not give you the full picture
And that's why I don't
of
ever
what happened.
numbers.
Okay, and that's why I just wanted to say that 70 Chip. And you're not the only one to think this. I'm not just picking on 70 Chip. He just happened to be the one in my comments that said it today. There's when I made my recap video, there was a lot of Skins fans saying the exact same thing, and it's like you got to look at the entire picture. Okay, we were getting destroyed defensively, especially in that second half. But anyway, sorry, I wanted to go on that rant when I saw that comment, so I apologize. But go. I don't know. Do you remember what you were saying beforehand, or do you just want to go on to the campaign?
No, I mean they dropped 2 touchdown passes, so really the score was really 35-15 or whatever he had. That was the real score. Y'all, I hate. That's why I say I hate our fan base. Y'all the reason why our team will always suck. Because you keep giving them benefit of the doubts. Oh, you keep forcing blame. No, they were trash. I've been saying this since last year. They only show up against subpar or below average competition. I only count it if you go up against elite competition, because that is why they're here, to go to the playoffs and dominate the quarterbacks. That's why 4 first rounders are on a freaking D-line for that purpose. And if they can't do that, what need would I have for you?
Right.
And overpaying for you. What's the point? Let me go trade you, and then I'll figure out something else.
Well, I'm not ready to trade him, okay? I'm not ready to trade him.
I'm saying
it's one game. It's one game. I'm not ready to trade everybody. But if they continue to play like this, absolutely, this is pathetic. What they put
Montez, I'm ready to. I trade Montez for Max Crosby right now.
Oh, I love me some Max Crosby. He was so amazing. There's no doubt.
Montez is arrogant.
All right, I think we beat down the defensive line enough, and they still have time. I know it's one game. I just want to say that. And some fans will be like, "Oh my God, you're tearing them apart. You're gloom and doom already." I'm only talking about one game, me personally. I'm talking about one game, and they were pathetic that one game, and it disappointed me. Now, let's see what they can do the rest of the season. We got a lot of quarterbacks coming up that could destroy this team. Okay, of course, I know Aaron Rodgers laid an egg, but we have A-Rod, we got Pat Mahomes, we got Matt Ryan, we got Jameis Winston, who threw 5 touchdowns. I mean, we have quarterbacks, Josh Allen coming in a couple of weeks. We got a plethora of great quarterbacks coming through this building, and if we continue to not get pressure on these guys, we're going to get picked apart. We got to step up. We got to do something. All right. The last thing that I wanted to talk about this game, I think this is pretty much it. Cameron Curl didn't play enough. I know you've been preaching Cameron Curl ever since the beginning of last year. Landon Collins back. They brought in Bobby McCain. Cameron Curl only played 46% of snaps. Meanwhile, Landon played 80, and Bobby had the second most snaps in the secondary, I should say, of 85% of the snaps played. Were they bad? Not necessarily. But are they Cameron Curl? Absolutely not. And we got to find ways to get him on the field way more. The only player to play 100% of the snaps was Cole. And also Jamin Davis only played 56% of the snaps. And John Bostic, I believe, was on the field for about 83% of snaps. A lot of this stuff needs
find ways to get him on the field.
Yeah,
it's not about finding ways. He just should be on the field. I've said it. He's our best defensive back. Period. And I don't think it's close. I've been saying it. He's the most important guy in the secondary. As of right now, he's the most important guy on the defense until I see otherwise on the D line and in the linebacking core. He just is. He can't. So the moment they put him in the game, he literally took the whole drive over. I think he had like a tackle for loss, and he had like 2 pass deflections.
Yeah,
immediately,
he was all over it.
And then they was off the field. Why is that guy not in the game? I told you I hate Jack Del Rio. I do not like him. Bobby McCain is not good in coverage. He's good in a box as well. So if your linebacker core suck, you might need to put Landon and Bobby down there now.
Yeah.
You have Cam up top. Because our linebacker core is horrible. Cole played phenomenal. I don't think Cole had one bad play. And it's the NFL's a player going to get. Cole played phenomenal to me. But Jamin, I didn't see him. I think Jamin right now, Ron need to play him to his strength. I don't want to see him at middle linebacker no more. He's not there yet. If Bostic gonna be on the field, he needs to be in the middle. I don't want to see Bostic period at all.
I don't either.
So
Not after that. He was the reason we didn't get that 3rd and 16. Stop. He decided to double team the flat instead of guarding the number 1 receiver in the middle of the field. And that was his zone. That was his zone.
Red Wings. Stop saying this one game. Stop saying this one game. It's stupidity. They literally had 2 weeks to prepare, and there was no preparation. If you prepared to have your best defensive back not play, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Seriously. If you prepare for that. If that's what you prepared for. And Landon Collins was awful. I don't know what Protect was talking about on his stream last night, but Landon Collins was trash, especially in coverage.
I don't know. There's a lot of and I like Jack Del Rio, but I hate that decision. That decision was terrible to basically not use. I agree with you at this point. After what I saw and what I saw all last year, and after I saw in this game, so 17 games since Cam Curl's been on this team, I don't think you can argue that he's not the best player in the secondary. I mean, Kendall Fuller got absolutely annihilated the entire time out there. I mean, he was atrocious. I wonder what his PFF is.
He was.
I mean, Will Jack played okay, but I think he got a little too handsy. He got lucky with just some no calls. Yeah, I thought he played okay. But Cameron Curl just brings that it factor where he can make a play at any moment, and I want him.
I don't know. The play that the guy was running across the middle and Will Jack got beat, he told Will Jack stay back, and he immediately picked it up and attacked. If he doesn't attack, that guy's gone up the sideline or somewhere.
Right.
That's instincts. That's something that Landon and Bobby cannot do.
Yep. And I know Cam Curl's not perfect. There was one play where he covered the inside instead of the outside when he had help on the inside. So I know Cam Curl's not this perfect human being that will
everybody's going to get beat. It's the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I just want to make sure that I'm clear that I'm not saying that he's never made a mistake in his entire career. But overall, I think he played the best. He was over a 70 PFF, probably one of the few that got that in the secondary. Hopefully the only one, because I don't think anybody else deserved it. Maybe Will Jack. But McCain, he had a bunch of tackles, which is good, but that's not good for the defense.
He's good in the box.
Yep, we'll see. But all right, any final thoughts before we close that chapter and we move on to the Giants game?
Bench Bobby McCain, that's it.
All right. On to any of you have final thoughts? We still have communication issues in the secondary.
Your Cam's not back there.
I mean, to be fair, we have like a whole new secondary, basically. Bobby McCain's new, Will Jack's new, Benjamin St. Juste played a lot. He's brand new. We have Landon Collins missed over half the year last year, so he's basically new. Of course, like Cam Curl's one of the only staples, and he's barely playing. So I don't know. I would give a little bit more slack to the communication issues because basically it's one game for like all of these guys except for Cam Curl and of course Kendall Fuller as well. What about Derek Forrest? Yeah, we're not talking about Derek Forrest ever again. Just kidding.
I agree with this statement.
Jamin Davis, linebacker, was a no-show. I don't know where that rookie was. St. Juste got burnt a few times, but still did decent as a rookie. Sam O.L. actually played well, I thought. He got beat 2 times. I mean, I didn't actually go back and watch the tape on Sam Cosmi in great detail, so I don't know. But I felt like Bosa
won.
Yeah, Bosa was getting pressure quite often.
But Sam was getting them too. Sam had his moments too during that game, so I was like, I see it. But you only can get better as if you go because he's going up against Montez and Chase Young. Neither one of them Joey Bosa.
Yeah. Mick Tyre is new. Yep, that's another one that's new.
He played a decent amount. He barely played.
Yeah, I guess he didn't play. He played less than I thought he did. What did he end up playing?
It seemed like he played like 5 snaps.
I think he was more than that, but let's see here. Mick Tyre played 9 snaps.
Yeah, so
not a whole lot.
Yeah.
I thought he played more than that for some reason. I think he was in on that final drive a lot though. I think that's probably why it stuck so much in my head, is that I saw number 35 quite often on the field, which I thought was pretty weird in that kind of a situation, that you have basically a no-name guy. And I thought he played well in the preseason, but it's the preseason. Like, we have a lot more. I think he even was playing, like, over Will Jack down the stretch. I don't know if Will Jack had some sort of injury, but give me Will Jack down the stretch over Torrey McTyer. But, all right. Anything out? 2 weeks to prepare. Sam balled out his first rookie start. Well, good. I hope he did ball out. As I said, I didn't deep dive into it. I just felt like Joey Bosa was getting to the quarterback a couple of times. But we'll see. Incredible catch by Scary Terry. That was an amazing catch. Love that guy. Love Terry. All right, here we go. On to the Giants game. So, how did the Giants look in week 1? Well, to be fair, the Giants looked way worse than us. Way worse than us, which is a miracle with considering in a lot of ways we look so bad, especially defensively. The Giants' defense is supposed to be a really great defense as well, and they got absolutely dog-walked by the Broncos. The Broncos didn't have a drive until the final drive where they just ran the ball 3 times. They didn't have a single drive under 21 yards. That was their shortest drive. That is insane. Not a single 3-and-out, and they just absolutely got destroyed. It was 27-13, but that's really misleading because they scored with 1 second left to then make it a 20-13 game. So really it was 27-7 throughout this game. And Danny fumbles again. Somehow, did you see that? Did you go back and watch that replay? I don't know how he fumbled, bro. I don't know how he literally was diving forward with 2 hands like this, and it still popped out between his 2 arms somehow. How do you fumble in that situation? I have no clue. He's literally protecting the ball, and he still finds a way to fumble. Saquon was not typical Saquon yet. They tried to protect him just running on the inside. I heard apparently that's where you want to keep your apparently the guy yesterday on a channel, Tim from Online Big Blue, he was saying that when you want to protect an ACL, you want to keep him in the middle of the field, not out on the edges. So he did not look like typical Saquon yet. And the Broncos have a really good defense, but the Giants receivers look solid. Sterling Shepard had a really big day, had over 100 yards. Galladay had a couple of nice catches. Granted, those were towards the end of the game. But similar to Terry, he didn't get a lot of targets early in that game, which was weird. But yeah, overall, they looked terrible against the Broncos. Absolutely terrible. Did you watch any of the highlights or anything of that game?
I had to watch the game because I was hoping Melvin Gordon was going, you know what I mean? But I watched some of it.
Yeah, it was not very good for them. All right. Let's go into our 5 keys to victory to win this game. Do you have 5 keys?
I can think up some.
All right, I wrote down my 5. Do you want to go through your 5 and I'll go through my 5 and you see what we have matched, or do you want to take turns giving one out, or what?
You can go ahead.
Give all 5?
Yeah.
Okay, all 5. Here we go. Number 1. We talked about it. Get after the QB. Do not let DJ get comfortable. This guy makes mistakes when he's trying to play hero ball. He makes mistakes when he's trying to do too much. We have to find ways to get pressure on this dude. If you just let him sit back there, he will beat you, especially with all the weapons. If he has any quarterback, basically, but especially one with somewhat talented guy like Daniel Jones, if you just give him all day, he will find a way to beat you, and you have a terrible offensive line in front of you. Last week was a great offensive line with the Chargers. This one's hot garbage. If Daniel Jones doesn't have 5 sacks, I'm so upset. But nonetheless, got to get after him. Don't let Danny Jones get 5-0 against us. Please, please. All right, number 2. Run the football again. I thought that it was really nice to run the football. We slowed the game down. We tried to make sure that our defense gets some rest. Of course, we fumbled it. That sucked. But, hang on to the football. But Antonio Gibson, he ran really well, 4.5 yards a carry. He's got to hold on to the football. We just talked about that, but it's uncharacteristic. Chris mentioned that he only had 2 fumbles last year. It was a crazy scenario where he got hit, got punched out from behind. It wasn't like it wasn't Daniel Jones like this and somehow fumbles it. So just continue to feed Antonio Gibson. I think good things will happen. Open up the play action and everything like that for Taylor Heineke. I think Jamin Davis and Cameron Kroll need to play more, especially in coverage downs. John Bostic is terrible. Landon Collins is not good. Like, we need more coverage, and I want to see more Cameron Curl and more Jamin, especially on coverage. And then also, Torrey McTyer should not be on the field on critical downs. All right? I know he had a good preseason. I know that for sure. But I don't want him today in on critical downs like 3rd and 16. Okay? 3rd and 4, 3rd and this, and whatever. Let's get Will Jack, Kendall Fuller. I like Benjamin St. Juste still. Jamin Davis, Cam Curl, Bobby McCain, Landon Collins. I don't care. Cole Holcomb. Get all of those guys that we know that have the experience in these kind of situations. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, personally, I don't want to leave Cosby on an island. Okay, I don't want Leonard Williams to just go ahead.
So don't leave Leno on the island.
All right, don't leave Leno on the island then. Fair enough.
Please.
Let's not let Bosa, just like we let Bosa get a lot of pressure. Let's not let their best defensive end get a lot of pressure. Who had 10 sacks last year. So let's not leave whatever tackle Leonard Williams is on. Let's not leave him on an island. All right, that's number 4. Number 5, and this is the last one, but not the least important. This is arguably the most important, but I saved the best for last. And that is get Terry McLaurin the ball. Get him the ball. I don't care if it's in regular pass tree routes. I don't care if it's in a screen pass. I don't care if it's in a jet sweep. I don't care if you put him in the backfield and hand the ball off to him. Get the ball to Terry McLaurin. At least 10 to 15 targets somehow, some way in this game, and let him go to work. All right? 4 to 5 targets in a game is not enough for Terry McLaurin. Find a way to get him the ball. Just like the Raiders force-fed Darren Waller, find a way to force-feed Terry McLaurin. All right? So those are my 5 keys to victory. Is there any other ones you want to add that I didn't talk about?
Nope. I don't think so. But number 1 was your 5th one. Get the ball to Terry.
Yeah.
Get the ball to Terry early and often. Mm-hmm. Secondly, run the football. Control time and possession. Thirdly, I would say Cameron Curl needs to be on the field at all times. Mm-hmm. At all times. If he's not, we see what Daniel Jones did to Landon Collins last year. Up the sideline for I don't know how many yards.
40, 50 yards. Yeah, it was bad.
Cameron Curl, huge. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm on number 4.
What? Oh, number 4 was don't leave Cosby or Leno on an island.
So I'm on 4. So 4 for me would be just dominate. First off, let me tell you something. If this D-line don't dominate against the Giants, somebody getting traded. That's just how I feel. If you can't dominate against the Giants, I don't care what else you do this year. You're getting off my team. I don't care how much the fans or organization likes you. You're gone. Chase Young, you can leave too. I don't care. That's how I feel. If you do not dominate the Giants' offensive line, you should be gone. But they will, and then we're probably going to lay an egg next week. Mm-hmm. But stay into this game. D-line dominate. This game shouldn't even be close. We'll get to that in the score prediction later. So 4, D-line dominate. 5, let's get Diami some targets, please.
Ooh, Diami, yeah.
Now, Diami needs some targets, especially against a team like this. Mm-hmm. He needs targets because it's a reason. Curtis being out should be a blessing in disguise. Diami supposedly supposed to be the next Terry. Why is he not getting no targets? Mm-hmm. We need to see. You drafted him in the 3rd round for a reason, right? Get Diami the ball. Let's see what he has. Let's start developing Diami, and let's get Logan the ball. That's my top 5.
Perfect. All right. Well, the last thing for the game preview is the score. Score predictions of this game. You want to go first or me first?
31-16.
31-16. Giants? No, I'm just kidding.
If it was, I'd stop watching.
If we let this offense score 31 on us, oh my God. If Danny Jones scores 31. Oh, please don't do it to me. What a terrible Friday that would be. Ugh. Oh my goodness. All right, I don't think we scored that many, but I do think that we make them struggle. And I said I think we win 20-14. I said that yesterday on my talk with Online Big Blue, and I'm going to stick with it. I think 20-14 because something that we do is we slow the game down. We slow the game down. So when you slow the game down, you don't score as many points. It's basically what the Chargers did to us as well. Now they did it with throwing the ball, but because they slowly methodically drove it down the field, they ended up with only 20 points, even though they could have scored more. I think that's probably going to be a similar way that we do with the Giants. I think we're going to win 20-14. That is my prediction. I like this one, though. 28-7, says Alex.
The defense is going to get a touchdown. I think Cam Curl gets a pick six.
Oh, I would love that. That would definitely help. Then I would say if the defense scores a touchdown, I would say 27-14. That's what I would say. 28-7 Washington. We should blow these Giants out of the water. No question.
Heineke going.
We are way better.
Heineke gonna put the world on notice. Live.
He is a war-torn Redskins fan here. I wouldn't be surprised if Jones scores 31 on us. We are only team he can beat. I understand. I understand the sentiment for sure. Washington diehard fan, what's up, man? Says 21-10. I think Chase Young will get a big 6. Oh, I love that. Sack fumble, maybe? Sack fumble touchdown? That could be fun. Screw you, Spoiled. Invading these lines like a G. Screw you, Spoiled. That's funny. Jones finds a way to play best against us. You guys aren't lying. I mean, he's 5-0. My 5 are run the ball, don't get burnt. Dustin Hopkins make kicks. That's a great one. That's a great one, TT. Get Daniel Jones, and don't underestimate Saquon. All good points. All good points. Telling Hopkins not to miss kids like asking an emo kid not to harm the school. Oh my lord. Oh my goodness. This is a statement game. No kidding.
It is.
No kidding.
You gotta stamp it. And Taylor Heineke is going to stamp that he's the best quarterback in this division. We go up 1-1, 1-0.
Oh, Roger, 24-17 Giants. And the crap hits the fan because we have dumb A coaches and a head coach who knows nothing about clock management late in games. Ouch.
We're going to win that game.
Ouch.
We're going to win that game by a large margin, I feel like.
All right, well, we shall see. All right, well, we got a couple more segments still to go. That was the Washington stuff. Hope you guys hang around. First, we're going to go around the NFC East. Let's take a look at what our enemies are doing. So we already talked about the Giants, obviously. So what do you want to do first? The Cowboys or the division leading Eagles?
We do the Eagles.
Let's talk about it. All right. Eagles right now, the only team in the East 1-0. They destroyed and absolutely dismantled the Atlanta Falcons. What does this mean? Are they actually, are they the real deal? What does it mean?
Nothing. It just means what I told y'all, that you shouldn't underestimate them. They're going to still finish 4th, but you still shouldn't underestimate them because I believe in Jalen Hurts.
Well, Jalen Hurts played phenomenal. Yeah, 27 of 35, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. But go ahead. What about their defense?
Their defense, when healthy, it's a good defense. So they're going to win some games. I think I have them winning, 6 games this year? 7 games? Wouldn't surprise me. Doesn't mean nothing to me because they're going to finish 4th. But like I said, they're not going to be easy. Hey, they're going to be tough to play.
True. Let's see. They have the Niners next. How do you think they'll fare against the Niners?
They'll beat the Niners.
They're going to beat the Niners?
They're going to beat Niners. Get Niners out of there.
All right. No Niners.
They ain't really got
It's
nothing.
Atlanta. Eagles aren't the real deal. Yes, I agree. Atlanta is terrible. Honestly, Atlanta's defense wasn't good last year, but they got rid of the only piece that made them somewhat decent, and that was that coach. Dan Quinn knows defense. He might not be a great head coach, but the dude knows how to call a defense, and it's gonna be dangerous for Dallas, I think, eventually if they get it figured out. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But the point is Atlanta is absolutely dog crap, and I know they're still a team that could beat anybody any given Sunday just because they do have a decent quarterback, they do have weapons, but they're also a team that can obviously get dog walked by a team like the Eagles that we think is going to finish around 6-11. So, absolutely. But yeah, the Eagles. I think they're going to be 1-1 after next week, but we'll see.
Yes.
The Cowboys lose a close one to the Bucs. They, unfortunately for them, just gave Tom Brady a little bit too much time. I think he had like a minute and a half. And, of course, Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does, and he makes the field goal to win the game. And then other news out of the Cowboys, DeMarcus Lawrence broke a foot in practice, out at least 6 to 8 weeks. That's definitely going to hurt them on the defensive side of the ball. But that offense is dangerous. That offense is dangerous. They are really, really good. And they didn't even run the football yet with Zeke Elliott. So 400 yards for Dak Prescott. I give him credit. I know you don't like the Bucs secondary, but I still give them credit because they're a talented offense. And anyway, how do you feel about the Cowboys?
The Cowboys not going to do nothing. They have no defense. The defense is the worst in the NFL. Offensively, I think they overrated. You have no Michael Gallup, so now you got Amari and CD. You're probably going to double team CD, and you're just going to let Amari do whatever he wants because who cares about Amari? Zeke is washed. So what's the big deal? They're going to get spanked by the Chargers badly. Worse than what way worse than what we got. Because Justin Herbert going to have a field day. You see what Keenan Allen did with those DBs and Mike Williams? What do you think he's going to do to the Dallas DBs? And they're not going to have no pass rush. Whoever got Austin Eckler, you might get 4 touchdowns.
You might get 4 touchdowns. Zeke is their full. Zeke's an extra lineman now. That's all they use him is now to block. They just use him to block for Dak Prescott. That's all they use Zeke. The $90 million man is now a glorified offensive lineman. The Saints defense is legit. Statistically speaking, that's right. Statistically speaking, they're actually one of the better offenses in the league, statistically speaking. All right. No, I agree though. I think the Cowboys are going to go down 0-2. I think they will. I think both the other NFC East teams will go down, and that will put us on the top of the division or I should say the winner of this game will be on the top of the division. But that would put us back on top of this division with a 500 record, and then we would go on to the Bills, and we'll talk more about that next week. Jairus, can't wait to prove you wrong. We're going to be 2-0. I thought that was an interesting one. I think the Niners are going to win, but you said the Eagles are going to beat them. All right, interesting. So you have the Eagles going 2-0, so they will be on top of the division.
I'll think about it.
All right, so that was around the NFC East. Now we're going to go around the NFL, and there's a lot of stuff that happened this week. And we'll start with it. I know that Spoiled's been in here talking about the whole time, and we'll start with it. Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay looked pathetic against the Saints. Jameis Winston on his comeback tour starts off with only like 150 yards, but he turned those 150 yards into 5 touchdowns. There's a conspiracy theory that Aaron Rodgers, he was smiling on the sideline when they were down big. Did he do it on purpose, or are the Saints that good?
No, Saints are not that good. Get out of the way. They had a new game. Congratulations. Your offense still sucks. It's number one. Your defense is elite. I'm not sold on your offense. I'm not sold on no Marquez Callaway, no Deontay Harris. I'm not sold on whoever your backup running back is or your tight end is. I'm sold on Kamara. But outside of that, you have trash.
I like that Jones Jr. guy. I actually do like him. I think he's a great 1-2 punch.
They got a good run game. But outside of that, nobody not worried about their offense. Their defense is elite. They got lucky on offense. That's just why I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I think that was an incredible game. And Spoiled knows, and he can say it. I was on the Jameis Winston bandwagon. I was on it. I was on it before it was cool. I thought he was supposed to start last year instead of Taysom Hill when Drew Brees went down. Hey, Jameis Winston, look out. He's going to get a lot better. The dude has a lot of more talent. Who do the Saints play next? Schedule. Let's look here at the schedule. No, wait. This is only week 2 of the NFL scoreboard. The Saints play the Panthers.
They'll lose that one.
All right, we'll see. We'll go through the predictions later in the show. We're going to go through the whole thing. All right, so that was the Green Bay and Saints debacle. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers did it on purpose? Is he trying to get out of there?
No. I
You don't
mean,
think there's any chance there?
he's leaving anyway.
He didn't want to make a statement to his GM that he hates?
Only thing he did was make himself look bad.
That was terrible. And there was a meme going around that if he threw every pass in the dirt, he would have had a better QBR than what he did on Sunday. But that's only because they have an arbitrary, 39.6 is the worst you can get unless you throw interceptions. But in reality, that's not true. But if you actually calculated, if you use the formula to calculate it, it would be better. But anyway, nonetheless, it was a funny meme. All right. I agree. I want to hop on the bandwagon so bad on the conspiracy theory. I'm not going to lie to you. But the Packers do this every year. There's one or two games where the offense just absolutely doesn't do anything. You think about it's usually against the Niners, right? They just get destroyed by the Niners. Last year it was the Bucks, where the Bucks beat them 38-3. They just have one of these games every single year that they just can't figure anything out, and it's weird. I don't know why Aaron Rodgers has that boogaboo, but it happens every year. All right. The Texans win their first game in really a destructive fashion, destroying the Jaguars 37-21, I believe. Tyrod Taylor had a great day. Trevor Lawrence threw 3 interceptions. He did also throw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns with a 28 out of 51 completion percentage. All of a sudden, are the Texans the real deal? Are we looking at a 17-0 Texans team? Tyrod Taylor coming back? Finally finding his team, finding his niche? David Culley, coach of the year?
No.
You're not going to buy into the Texans after this one game.
Nope.
You're not going to buy into the Texans. Come on. The Texans.
Exactly. The Texans. Not bad it is. All they did was they're going to lower their trade. They're not going to get the first pick.
Watch this be their only win. Didn't the Jets do that last year or something like that? Didn't they have
Towards the end of the season, they won 2 games.
No, it was Jacksonville who did it last year. Didn't they win a game earlier, week 1 or week 2, and then they go 1-15?
I have no clue.
I think they did the exact same thing last year. No, sorry, not they. I think Jacksonville did the exact same thing. I think Jacksonville won one game week 1 or week 2. And I think they beat the Jets week 2 on a Thursday night. I think we watched that game. And then they went ahead and lost 15 in a row or 14 in a row. Yeah, they won week 1 last year. Okay, fair enough. Oh, no, wait. It was the Broncos and Jets that we watched that Thursday night. So I don't remember watching the Jacksonville. I don't know what they did. Anyway, nonetheless, I'm obviously trolling. I think the Texans are a terrible, terrible, terrible organization from top to bottom. I'm being facetious. And, the Texans aren't going anywhere. I predicted a 1-16 season. I think they just won their one game. And I actually predicted that I think they would steal one against a division opponent. And I believe I said the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did. I think so. Yo, Chris, do your sleeping at night.
Not even asleep.
They beat the Colts. Yeah, they beat the Colts week 1. That's what it was. Yep. It's an underdog story at its best. Yep, for sure. And week 1, crazy things happen. Washington defense more inconsistent than McDonald's ice cream machine. Ouch.
Spoiler, you over here there going trying to crack jokes because y'all won one game. And when y'all get spanked, don't say nothing.
Ouch. That was a good one. I can't lie. That was a good one. I like that one. All right. What else happened this week? One of the craziest Monday night games. Really one of the craziest games I've ever seen in general. I mean, this game was incredible. Nobody wanted to win it. Somebody was like, it's the best game ever. It's I would take the Kansas City versus the Patriots because it was actually two teams really putting it out there to win the game. I thought that back in the AFC Championship game, you know what I'm talking about? When Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady were going at it. It was Pat Mahomes' first year. And I would take that game over this game. I thought that game was phenomenal. But Nonetheless, it was a crazy, crazy finish. If you didn't see this game, oh my goodness gracious. We'll start in the fourth quarter. They're going back and forth. The Raiders tie it up, I believe, with a Darren Waller touchdown, 24-24. Then the Ravens scored a field goal with about 37 seconds left. They kick off, touchback. 2 passes later to Bryan Edwards, who hadn't had a catch all game. Catches 2 passes for 38 total yards, gets him into the field goal range, and Daniel Carlson, whose career-long field goal was 54 yards, makes a 55-yard field goal to send it into overtime. The Raiders then get the ball first in overtime, and they drive it down all the way to the half-yard line. And what was crazy is, again, Bryan Edwards catches a big pass, dives for the end zone. They say touchdown. The whole crowd, the whole teams go on the field. They're dapping each other up. The game's over. Oh, no. And I even said, I was like, yo, this is not a touchdown. What if they come on the field, the Raiders find a way to not score, and the Ravens win this game, but after everybody came on the field and acted like they won the game? That would have been hilarious. Sure enough, Derek Carr goes up the middle, gets stuffed. Second play, the rookie Alex Leatherwood false starts, puts them back now on the 6-yard line instead of the half-yard line. And then 2 plays later, Derek Carr throws a pass to Willie Snead, goes right through his hands, hits a defender in the helmet, pops up, interception. Ravens get the ball on their own 20-yard line after the touchback. Then a few plays later, Lamar Jackson, he's trying to do it all, trying to do everything, and he ends up fumbling the ball in the pocket. The Raiders get the ball back. They run one run play to try to make it a little bit easier field goal. They line up for the field goal, and they get another false start. And now it's a 49-yard field goal. And they're like, you know what? Let's run a play. Derek Carr throws a rainbow shot because nobody in the building thought they were going to throw the ball. And they beat Marlon Humphrey over the top to Zay Jones. Touchdown. Raiders survive after giving the ball back. What a crazy, 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 crazy finish to that game. It was a lot of fun to watch. If you didn't go see the highlights, go see the highlights. It's worth the watch because unbelievable drama. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And anything else you want to talk about the NFL before we go into maybe some power rankings and weekly predictions?
Nope.
All righty then. I wanted to do a top 5 teams right now. We'll do it every week. We'll keep track of it. For both of us. I have my top 5 right here. I will make another line for Chris's top 5. And let's go ahead and start with number 5, and we'll give each other's number 5 teams, and we'll go down the list. How about that?
All right.
And before we get to the number 1 team. You want me to go first or you first?
You can go ahead.
All right. Number 5. My number 5 team is actually an 0-1 football team right now. They're 0-1. But they lost to one of the better teams in the NFL, and I have the Browns at number 5. They played phenomenally against the Super Bowl participants a year ago. They came down to the wire. They end up losing a really, really close game to the best quarterback in football. So I have the Browns, who are 0-1 right now, but it's the best 0-1 you could possibly be. And the Browns notch my top 5. Who's your number 5?
Cleveland.
You got Cleveland number 5 as well?
Cleveland.
All right, Cleveland. All right, so number 5, we both got the Browns. Why do you have the Browns number 5?
Because it's a game they should have won. And they abused the Chiefs badly without Odell. They abused them. If you watch the game, they abused the Chiefs. They lost because Nick Chubb fumbled. And then that just basically turned the whole game around was Nick Chubb fumbled. But they abused them so bad. Browns without Odell. They abused. But I got the Browns at 5.
Browns at 5. All right. You want to go first for number 4?
Number 4, I would go with Carolina.
Carolina reaches the top 5. Wow.
Carolina Panthers, I said it once, and I'll say it again. They will win this division. They will win
Carolina
the division,
Panthers, number 4.
shock the world. The Carolina Panthers, they showed up and showed why and showed me to be right in game 1. They have weapons everywhere. They have a solid defense. Their upcoming team, and Sam the Goat Donald is well on his way.
Fair enough. Honestly, they didn't even reach my honorable mentions. Number 4, I also have the NFC South, but I got the Saints. And when you dismantle the Packers like that, I got to give you credit. They're extremely well coached with Sean Payton. They're a deep defensive team as well. Jameis Winston, I've been on the bandwagon for a long time, and I'm still on it. I think he's a really good quarterback, and I think it's going to be great with Sean Payton's offense, to throw 5 touchdowns with that wide receiving core is also impressive. I think the Saints are a really phenomenal football team, and they're going to have another great record. Everybody was writing them off, but they were like undefeated almost without Drew Brees. So I don't know why everybody decided to write them off once Drew Brees retires. That makes no sense to me. And I got the Saints, number 4, in the power rankings. All right, I'm up next. I got number 3. Number 3, I got the Los Angeles Rams. Number 3, Matt Stafford is the real deal. He finally has an offense. He finally has an offensive coordinator. And more importantly, he finally has a defense. And that defense absolutely annihilated the trash can named Andy Dalton. And I like this team. They, of course, are extremely well coached with Sean McVay. And I think the Rams deserve to be in the top 5. And I have them marked at number 3 right now on the list. Who's your number 3?
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I got the Cardinals. They abused the Titans. They abused them.
They shut down Derrick Henry.
Everybody thought, oh, Tennessee, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. No, they're not. I told y'all about Kyler Murray and his offense. I told y'all the defense, it was meh to me because I didn't believe Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt can stay healthy. But if they can stay healthy, they're the second best team in their division. Like I said, they proved me to be right week 1 once again. Got Cardinals up in there.
We'll see how they go. All right, number 2. Who do you have at number 2 in the NFL?
Number 2, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, number 2. All right. Why Chiefs number 2?
Andy Reid is the greatest play call in history. The way he schemes Tyreek Hill open, the way he does. The way Travis Kelce gets open on his own. But the way he schemes Tyreek Hill open game after game after game after game, it's ridiculous. When you know going into the game, Patrick Mahomes only passes to 2 players, Kelce or him. And when you watch Tyreek Hill get open, he's wide open. And if a player is wide open almost all the time, that's because you're getting schemed open. So I give him all the credit in the world. You can't stop their offense because Andy Reid is a freaking animal.
All right, you ready for my number 2? You're going to hate this.
Oh.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 2, they survived against the Cowboys. The Cowboys came out firing. They brought back all 22 guys starting last year. Their offense is phenomenal. Tom Brady's still slinging that football. He has Mike Evans, who didn't even have a great game. Then you still have now Antonio Brown, who looks like he's getting back into form. Chris Godwin's still there. Rob Gronkowski had a great day. You got Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones, who apparently Ronald Jones got benched for some undisclosed reason, but he will be back. Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, that top 5 offensive line. Offensively, they're amazing. And then defensively, they have the best run defense in the league that everyone is scared to even run the football against them. Nobody does. If you go back and look at them last year, nobody ran the football against them last year either. Of course, I know their secondary is their biggest weakness, but every team's going to have a slight weakness. Give me Tampa Bay, number 2 on my power rankings. And it's my turn again now to go first. And I have the bad man, as what's his name would say, Stephen A. The bad man, Pat Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs, ranked number 1 on my power rankings. Basically, they got to prove somebody's got to take them off. All right, someone's got to knock them off. And I don't know who's going to do it. I know Tampa Bay did it last year technically, but they did not have the offensive line. Pat Mahomes was still phenomenal. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs, the number 1 team overall, for obvious reasons. And Chris.
I got the Rams.
The Rams, number 1.
It's not even close. First of all, Tampa sucks. Let's just throw it out the window. The Rams were my Super Bowl pick. And they're still my Super Bowl pick right now. Mm-hmm. Jalen Ramsey is an animal. It's an animal. Mm-hmm. That D-line with Aaron Donald, animal. The defensive play calling, animal. The offensive play calling. You can't stop the Rams. Especially now that they got Matthew Stafford. I mean, the Rams
Bears aren't a bad defense, and they made them look silly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rams elite. I got the Rams number 1.
All right. Well, all right. So interesting top 5. So you got the Browns, the Panthers, the Cardinals, the Chiefs, the Rams. I got the Browns, the Saints, the Rams, the Bucks, the Chiefs. And I had 2 other honorable mentions. I had 3 honorable mentions, but you put the Cardinals in yours. I did have them as an honorable mention. I thought they did look really, really good. I have the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a really dangerous team. They obviously shut down our defensive line phenomenally with that new offensive line they have. Justin Herbert seems like the real deal. He was slinging it. They have a lot of weapons on defense. Joey Bosa, obviously, and, of course, Derwin James in the back end, Casey Hayward. This team is really deep. Asante Samuels looked good in a lot of ways this year, or this game in his rookie year. Rashawn Slater, their first-round pick, was unbelievable. So I have them as an honorable mention. And I also have the Seahawks, who took down the Colts. They have Russell Wilson, but they dismantled who I think are a really, really good football team, the Indianapolis Colts, and they ended up winning that game. So I was honorable mention on those, but they did not make my top 5. All right. You ready to finish this show with the schedule and record predictions? All right, so just to remind everybody, whoever has the worst record, we're going to pick every single game between Chris and I, and it's just win the game. There's no spread. We're just winning the game. We're picking every single game, keeping tallies on it, and whoever has the best record by the end of the year will have to not to force the other guy, but whoever has the worst record, I should say, has to drink a shot of super-duper hot sauce. Will yet to be determined, but they will do it on stream by the end of the show, and it should be funny to see them have to drink a shot of hot sauce. But, yes, it'll be me and him having to do it. And right now, Tim has a lead. It's a 1-game lead, but it is a lead nonetheless. I was 7-9 this week. Chris was 6-10. Neither of us particularly good, but it's a new week, Chris. It's a new week, and let's have some fun. What do you say?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead. I don't want red. I got my green. Let's go ahead with no, that's not this one. Let's go ahead with the pink or gray. Let's do gray. All right, week 2. Giants versus Washington.
Washington.
How did I write this last week? Okay. Giants, Washington. All right, I also have Washington. We already talked about this one. So we'll both say wash. Chris. All right, game number 2, Bengals versus the Bears.
Man, this is a hard one. God dang. I'm going to go Bengals.
I did as well.
It's a hard one.
I wrote that down also. I picked against them, I should say, last week. I'm not doing it again. All right. Texans versus the Browns.
Browns. That's going to be an annihilation.
Are you kidding me? We talked about this already. The Texans are the real deal, so I'm picking the Browns. All right, yeah, that was an easy pick. Rams versus the Colts.
I got the Rams. I think the Colts going to take a while to mesh. I got the Rams.
Yeah. Part of me wants to pick the Colts in an upset.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm taking the Rams as well. I'm just going to stick with the Rams. They're my number 3 team for a reason. I'm rolling with them. Oh, here's a tough game. Bills versus the Dolphins.
I got Bills. They make up for what they did. I got Bills.
Bills destroyed them last year.
I got Bills.
Devin Singletary, 72 yards against. Not bad.
In a close one. I got Bills in a close one. I got Bills. Because I don't think they got
I'm gonna go off the beaten path here. I'm picking the Dolphins. I love how they're coached. I like how the Bills are coached too. But I'm gonna say the Dolphins find a way to beat the Bills here. And the Bills, the great Bills, actually go down 0-2. 0-2. That's crazy. Crazy talk, Tim. Crazy. All right. The Patriots versus the Jets.
The Mac Man gets his first W.
The Mac Man gets his first W before Zach Wilson. The guy taking 14 picks ahead of him, or 13 picks, whatever. I also have the Pats. I don't think the Jets are ready to take on the Patriots, the well-coached organization they are. All right, we got the 49ers versus the Eagles.
This is one of the hardest games to call. This is a hard game to call. I'm going to let you do what you say. I'm going to let you pick this one first.
I say the 49ers. I had already written it down, so I wasn't going to change it.
Eagles.
Woo, he's going to do it. He said it earlier.
Eagles with the upset. They're not stopping Jalen Hurts, and his secondary's trash, and I believe in Fletcher Cox in that defense. Come on, Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Ugh, that's gross that you just said that. All right, Raiders versus the Steelers. Another AFC North opponent for the Raiders. They squeaked by the Ravens. Can they do the same against the Steelers?
After what I see Max Crosby do, this is going to be a tough call right here. But I'm going to have to go with Big Ben.
Big Ben? I'm going to stick with the Raiders. I think the Raiders showed some moxie. I think they have an interesting defense, and I like Derek Carr, man. Derek Carr.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Hopefully Pittsburgh doesn't read down.
Steelers. I'm taking the Raiders. All right, Saints versus Panthers.
I got the Carolinas.
The Carolinas. I got the Saints. Jameis coming to town, going to Carolina. And you got the Panthers. All right. All right. Jags versus Broncos.
The Bronx.
The Bronx. Me too. I think that's an easy pick. Broncos. All right. I have next the Vikings versus the Cardinals.
Dang. Another tough one. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to Cardinals.
Cards. I have the Vikings. Give me the likes.
I got the Cardinals.
I think they bounce back. I think that Dalvin Cook does not get shut down like Derrick Henry did. And I think that the Vikings find a way to pull it off.
I got
All right.
Cardinals.
The Falcons versus the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Oh, no, wait. I thought you said that they suck.
They do suck, but what's crazy, the Falcons might actually win that game. It's going to be a close game, I feel like. But
I'm taking the Bucks. I take the Bucks in a blowout. All right, Cowboys versus the Chargers.
I'm going Chargers.
You know what? I'm going Cowboys.
I got you on that one. That's bad. Cool.
I got Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys. Chargers. I feel like this is an upset waiting to happen. I feel like the Chargers are on a real high right now. The Cowboys are somewhat of a dangerous team. People are going to write them off because DeMarcus Lawrence is out, and I feel like this is a trap game. I think it's one of those trap games. The Cowboys find a way to win. Titans versus the Seahawks.
This is another hard one.
Some good games right now, man.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to go with the Titans.
The Titans.
Because I think Julio gonna go crazy because he mad at what Mike Vrabel said about him. So
I'm gonna ride with the Seahawks.
you gonna lose. I got Tennessee.
I got the Seahawks, man. Russell Wilson, man. I don't want to bet against him.
Well, I'm betting against
Kansas City versus Baltimore.
I got ball Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City kind of owns the Ravens. And the Ravens are just too hurt. I thought about picking the upset here. I'm doing it. Ravens. Ravens beat the Chiefs. They lose to the Raiders, but they beat the Chiefs. And the Monday Night Football game, we got the Green Bay Packers hosting the Lions.
Detroit Packers.
Yep, I got
They lose
JB
that
as
game.
well.
It's over.
All right. So, we got a good matchup here. And again, I'm winning right now 7 wins to 6 wins. Where did I put my cap of this pen? Whatever, I'll find it in a minute. Yeah, all right. Any final things? What up, Hank Hill? What up, ProTech? What up, Yuki? What up, Spoiled? Nah, Kansas City's got it. You know what? I think it's going to be kind of like what everybody was saying. Yo, the Titans own the Ravens. They always find a way to beat the Ravens, and the Ravens found a way to upset. I think they're too good of a team to lose to the Chiefs. However many times they've lost to Pat Mahomes in a row now, I think they finally figure it out after losing a tough one to the Raiders. I think they figure it out and beat the Chiefs. I think they're well coached. They still play really tough defense, and I think Lamar doesn't have 2 fumbles either.
Lamont.
Lamont. All right. Any final thoughts there, Chris, before we roll?
Taylor Heineke is going to take us all starting tomorrow. You mark my words.
Let's do it. We will be here tomorrow on the channel doing the play-by-play like I do. And Chris will be here as well, being my right-hand man, and whoever else wants to hop in to the Discord.
And I shouldn't be that far back on the game this time. Maybe probably a couple seconds, but I should not be that far back. I should not be 3 down behind.
Well, we'll try to maybe if you're close, maybe we'll try to line it up. Try to get a little bit close here so that we can be on the same page. But all right, Yuki. All right, guys. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. It was a fun show. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new.
Share the video.
Also, in the description below, there's a Discord link. You can hop in our Discord and come talk some football with us. And last but not least, there are donation links in the description below. If you feel so kind, you could donate to the channel. And until next time, see you!